Hey everybody, Roman versus with the Squashfest podcast and my co-host.
Thin Brown found my shirt. It's the boy Horn.
You had to find a way to throw that in my face? That's crazy.
Yes, absolutely. All right, so today we're going to be reviewing Monday Night Raw from last night, October 6th, Monday Night Raw. From, I think they were in Cincinnati. It doesn't matter where they were.
Doesn't matter.
I don't remember where they were. This was one of the better story-driven based shows. So we've been talking about how for weeks they've got nothing going on because of this stupid created Crown Jewel PLE, which was created for the Saudis a couple years ago. But this year they're in Perth, Australia, and it's kind of a lull because my microphone is way over here. Hopefully you guys can hear me. And it's kind of a lull because we have to put all of the storylines on pause to get these two champion versus champion matches. So they're doing really well with one of them and not so well with the other one. And last night we got Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes in their final video package to explain why Seth is so distraught about losing to Cody Rhodes 3 times. And you got multiple backstage segments between Jimmy J, Roman. And those stories to me are kind of connected because you had the multiple years of Cody going after the bloodline. So you already have that. And you still have Paul Heyman, who was obviously the wise man of Roman Reigns for a couple of years, and now he's the oracle for Seth Rollins. And then you have the whole 10-year, 11-year saga of Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns and all the backstory between them. So they did a masterful job last night of reminding you the history of all of these people and actually making you really care about the outcome of the Seth-Cody match this weekend.
I didn't watch a single video package
of the Seth Cody stuff. God.
As you're talking about it, sounding mad excited about it. I'm just like, I'm about to blow up his whole thing. Yeah, I didn't watch a single minute of that. As soon as I saw it, I was like, "Oh, cool! I get to fast forward."
No. Like the John Cena ones, the John Cena AJ Styles one. All right, fast forward that. It doesn't matter. Like they had 2 matches. That's what I'm saying. And the John Cena AJ Styles one was just all right. They were the best of their generations in 2 different companies. John Cena was the best of WWE, and AJ Styles was the best of TNA. And they actually had the TNA footage of AJ Styles in there because of now the partnership.
Yeah. So
it's really cool that you can see all that old AJ Styles TNA stuff. And then they go over the 2 matches they had at Money in the Bank and at SummerSlam in 2016, which was both matches were great. And you just want to make you feel like this is the last time you're going to see John Cena and AJ Styles. It is the last time you're going to see John Cena and AJ Styles, but it's not. Their lore is more fan created, dream match created than story created the way everything else surrounding Seth and Cody was, which is why you need to watch these video packages.
Yeah, I'm okay.
If you don't remember everything, like me, I have an encyclopedia of wrestling.
If you need a refresher, that's cool, but I don't need the refresher. I'm good. I hate you.
Cody was not on last night except for that video package, so he needs to show up.
Okay.
Okay, so Raw kicks off, and the tribal chief makes his way down to the ring. And before he can even really speak, he gets interrupted by Heyman and Bronson Reed. And they just stare at him for like 15 seconds, 20 seconds. And Roman goes, "Are y'all just come out here to look at me, or y'all got something to say?" So Heyman reminds Roman that throughout all of the years of Roman being the top guy, without all the years of him being the top dog in WWE, no one has ever stretchered beat Roman down, or he needed to be stretchered out of the arena. This is my first issue.
Side note.
We're going to say the same thing.
God.
This is the first issue I have. WWE has a way to rewrite history for their narratives where they feel like
they'll
wrestling fans don't remember.
History. Yeah.
Roman Reigns got beat down by Braun Strowman so bad in 2018 that he was stretchered out of the arena. Roman threw him off of the thing that Jade knocked Naomi knocked Jade off of onto the cars. While Roman was stretchered, Braun throws him off of that. They put Roman in an ambulance on the stretcher, and then Braun Strowman flips the ambulance. So that's how that segment went. So we just erased all of that from history to tell the story of Roman being Superman again.
AKA Braun Strowman is no longer canon. That's basically what they did. They erased this man from history.
Roman at one, maybe I'm misremembering, but I feel like at one Royal Rumble, Roman was stretchered out of the arena and came back and won the Royal Rumble. I think that's the one in Philadelphia where Rock was holding his hand up and everybody was booing him. So Roman has been stretchered out of the arena multiple times.
We're gonna have to look into that.
So they go back and forth a little bit, and Roman basically says, "Yeah, I'm the big dog. I'm all this." He's just doing his Roman stuff. He's like, "I'm gonna beat you down." And then Bronson Reed speaks, and he says, "Yeah, I'm the only one to actually stretcher you out. How would your uncle and father, Afa and Sika, feel about you looking down from the heavens, seeing you stretchered out of the arena?" And Roman says, kind of ignores Bronson Reed. He goes, "You didn't know my father, but Paul, you did know my father. And what would my father say? My father would say, let's crack some heads or let's smash some heads or something like that." So Heyman goes, "Let me remind you who this man is, who Bronson Reed is, why WWE brought him to WWE from Australia and paid him all this money to be here. We're going to challenge you to a match, and we're going to challenge you to a match that he made famous." And immediately I'm thinking they should do monster versus monster match because Braun Strowman beat down Bronson Reed beat down Braun Strowman in a monster versus monster match last year. He hit him with multiple tsunamis on the top of that car to write Braun Strowman. This is too many Brauns. Bronson Reed hits tsunamis onto Braun Strowman on the top of the car to write him off a TV to begin with last year.
Yeah.
So we should be doing some sort of last man standing match, some sort of last monster standing match. No. What did they announce? An Australian street fight. These street fight gimmicks in WWE are so overblown and so ridiculous because what's the difference between a street fight and an Extreme Rules match?
Nothing.
What's the difference between Extreme Rules and Falls Count Anywhere?
Nothing.
What's the difference between Falls Count Anywhere and no disqualification?
Nothing.
This is my point. What? Like these things are ridiculous. Like, but at least if you made it last man standing, it plays into the story because he beat him. He had him stretched out by 3 tsunamis to the point where Roman can't get up. So now you can have Bronson, because Bronson's not winning this match. You can have Bronson look really good, beat Roman down, and then Roman just be the Superman, Super Cena, Super Cody babyface, and continuously get up until he wins with a spear or two.
The problem with that theory is we're about to have a last man standing match next week
on
SmackDown, and that's why they wouldn't do that.
I'm aware. That shouldn't be a last man standing match. It's just whatever. We'll get into that during the SmackDown review this week. I don't want to talk about Davey Priest and Aleister Black. So
upset.
Heyman and Strowman go. It's whatever. Heyman and Strowman go to walk away, and Roman's like, "Oh, y'all came out here like 2 tough guys, but y'all walking away like 2 bitches," which made Reed angry. Reed rushes the ring
so hard.
Because they're all named Braun.
So what?
Listen, Joe Tessitore last night called AJ Styles AJ Lee multiple times. All right, this is a thing. They can't have the same name. The brain doesn't.
They can. All you got to do is call them by their last name.
Then I'm just gonna be calling him Reed all the time.
So what?
And no one actually calls him Reed. They just call him Bronson.
So call him Bronson. Call the other one Breaker.
Whatever. But I'm not even confusing him with Braun Breaker. I'm confusing him with Strowman.
Exactly. So say Strowman.
Anyways, I don't gotta say Strowman. He don't work for the company no more.
Precisely.
He has a TV show on. He has a TV show on USA.
Up.
Yeah, because they have multiple names. So it's just whatever. So Reed hits the ring, goes to attack Roman. Roman hits him with 2 Superman punches, and Bronson Reed powders out and runs away. So that was the first of the Roman sightings for the night. We'll get into the second one in the backstage with him and Jay and Jimmy in a second, because that happened right after the Seth Rollins segment. So later in the show, we get the video package that he did not watch, between recapping the Seth Cody history. And it was really well done. It was the last of their trilogy. It was telling the story of Cody coming back to WWE in 2023 and thinking his run to the championship was going to be a lot easier than it ended up being. That he didn't expect to tear his pec in the Hell in a Cell match. He didn't expect to be out 4 months into his WWE debut. He didn't, and so he enters the Rumble and he wins, and then he loses at WrestleMania 39 in a way that he did not think he was going to lose. But that's because he was a man by himself and Roman had a bloodline. So he spent all of 2020. It was 2023. Did Cody come back in 22 or 23? It's been 3 Manias, so I think he came back in 23. But he spent all of one of the years between WrestleMania 39 and 40, just trying to get back to the World Championship, and he realized he couldn't do it alone. So he needed his own army, so he built up Jey Uso and he built up Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. And eventually, the man he actually needed to take down the bloodline and take down Roman Reigns was the one man he thought he would never trust. And that would be Seth freaking Rollins. Because Seth Rollins has his own history with Roman Reigns. And Shield debuted in 2011. And in January 2014, he literally stabbed Roman in the back with a steel chair. And that one moment is the integral part of Roman and Seth's next 11 years of the company. While Roman is fighting for relevancy and acceptance of being the babyface, the big dog, and then the tribal chief, Seth has spent that 11 years knowing and being everything he wanted to be. He was the Monday Night Messiah. He was the visionary. He was in the Triple H Randy Orton stable. I forget their names. The Authority. And now he's in the Vision. Now he leads the Vision. Coming out, so that's that entire thing. Coming out of that promo package, you see Seth and Becky in the back. And Becky is going crazy because she still can't deal with the fact that she's lost to AJ Lee. And we'll talk about the match she had earlier in the night against Maxine Dupree. But she's flipping out because she lost a count-out victory to Maxine Dupree. She lost by count-out. Seth, as you can tell, is not really listening to Becky at all. He's so focused on on Cody Rhodes that he's not listening to his wife. So Becky walks away, and Heyman walks up to Seth. And he says, Paul, what happens if I lose on Saturday to Cody? And he had asked him 3 times. The first time he asked him, Paul says, you're not going to lose. You're going to beat Cody Rhodes. And he goes, well, what happens if I do lose to Cody on Saturday? And he brushes him off a second time, and he yells at him the third time. He goes, "What happens if I lose?" And he goes, and Heyman gets serious with him. He goes, if you lose on Saturday, you lose the locker room. You lose the respect of Bronson Reed and Ron Breaker. You lose the respect of everybody here and everything that we've built for the last few months. So Heyman goes to walk away. And Seth grabs him by the arm and pulls him back. And Seth says, "You mentioned everybody but one person, yourself. What happens with you if I lose to Cody on Saturday?" And Heyman looks Seth dead in his face and says, "If you lose to Cody Rhodes, I have to reevaluate my position with everything we've been doing, everything we've been building since WrestleMania. I need to figure out why I chose you and whether or not I made the correct decision in choosing you over Roman Reigns." And when he said that, Seth's face went from, "I'm worried about Cody," to, "Crap, I better not lose this match on Saturday," because he may have a healthy respect for Cody, and Cody may be the obstacle he cannot overcome. Seth and Roman are going to go down as Brett and Shawn Michaels. Their stories are so intertwined with each other on the main roster that they cannot stand the fact that the other one is sometimes viewed as better than them. Roman hates that Seth is number one sometimes, and Seth definitely hates that Roman's number one. So for Heyman to say, "I have to reevaluate choosing you over Roman," that hit him to his core more than he could have said anything else. Yeah, go ahead.
That was so long-winded. Here's my problem with everything you just said. Number one, I skipped those packages for a reason, and then you decided to just tell me them.
It's not for you. It's for the audience. Like, if you want to skip it, that's fine.
They chose to skip it as well.
No, you said to me last week, I need to be paying more attention to the matches, so I give the fans of our show a detailed experience in case they didn't watch the show. You cannot
matches.
Video package.
I said matches, not video packages of old stuff.
And these video packages were more important to these video packages were more important to everything than any of the matches last night.
Oh my God. Anyways, so the second problem I have is when you said Roman has a problem with Seth when he's number one. Seth has not been number one in forever. It was Roman, and then he passed it to Cody. No one else has been number one.
What I mean by number one, I agree with that. It's when you're talking about in the hierarchy of WWE and the marketability and the guys.
He's the workhorse. I agree with that.
But I'm talking about when Roman is not the champion and he's not in kayfabe, the number one guy on the show. Then you have Rollins. Okay, but when you have Rollins, let's talk about before Cody, right? Let's talk about before Cody got there back in 2023.
Before Cody was Roman.
So big dog Roman Reigns. I'm talking about the entirety of their story, the 11 years. I'm not just talking about the 4 years of Roman.
Okay.
The entirety of the story, the 11 years. Seth and Roman are so intertwined. Seth has a winning record versus Roman Reigns on pay-per-view. Roman's beaten him a couple times. I think Seth is like 9-5 against Roman. Seth is the guy that Roman has always needed to overcome. That's why when Seth trolls him in Shield gear, or it comes out with the music, it triggers something in Roman. There's something there that Roman just cannot get past because this guy who he once viewed as a brother stabbed him in the back. And when he's successful, it hurts Roman to his soul. This is why going into Mania, I said it would be crazy if Heyman...
Everything you're saying, I don't argue with. I'm arguing with what you said about the number one spot. That's it.
I think it bothers.
I agree with what you're
Roman.
saying, that he doesn't like him even having any sort of success. But there's a difference between being successful and being number one. That's where I'm taking issue. That's it.
But I'm talking about in kayfabe on the shows.
He's not been number one.
He's number one on his show. If you can separate Cody and Seth, he's number one on Raw. Roman is not.
I guess.
Yeah, correct. Seth is number one on Raw.
If you say so.
The show is built around Seth Rollins.
Yeah,
Can we agree with that?
Yes. Currently. In its current construction. But you know what? I would argue, I would make an argument.
What?
It's semi-built around Jey Uso.
I know it is. Jey Uso is a big story, and I'll get into that right now. So coming out of that, it's because this is my point. It's because of the entire bloodline story of 4 or 5 years, and because of Roman's history with Seth, they did a great job melding the stories. Yeah. Where Jey and Seth don't really have a history, except for the last few months and that World Heavyweight Championship. By having the segments you had last night and the last couple weeks, you're using Roman as a catalyst to create a Jey Seth story. You're taking your two biggest guys, your two biggest draws right now, and it's crazy to me to say Seth Rollins and Jey Uso are bigger draws than CM Punk right now, because, I'm not a huge Punk fan, but I can understand the draw. But those are your draws on Monday Night Raw right now. Mm-hmm. And they're on a collision course for that World Heavyweight Championship. So coming out of that, they go directly to Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, and Roman Reigns in the back. And I forget what Jey says, but Roman basically, you're just talking, and Roman goes, "What did I tell you? You're supposed to be the number one guy around here. You're supposed to be everything that Raw is built around. Why is CM Punk talking at the top of the hour?" And Jey goes, "You're right. I'll go handle that." And he leaves. And Jimmy and Roman, and they're just both staring at staring at Jey. And Roman doesn't look at Jimmy, but he says, "I see everything, right? Why are you trying to downplay your brother's success? Why are you trying to hold him back?" And Jimmy tells him, "I'm not trying to hold him back, Oos. It's just I see him becoming you. And I know him better than you know him. And I am not like you. And Jey is damn sure nothing like you." And Roman looks at Jimmy and says to Jimmy, "The moment Jey became World Heavyweight Champion, he became more like me than you ever will."
I just want you to understand that you're taking two backstage segments and fusing them together.
Am I?
Yes. Because the first one was when he said, he didn't say that line. He said, "I hear and see everything. Why can't he take advice from me?" And that's how it ends. Then the second one later was when he said that
the second one was more impactful. That's either way.
I'm just saying you melded two segments together.
Well, I said we were going to talk about the storylines all together, so there's two backstage segments. I was thinking when I said he at the top of the hour, I said that doesn't sound right because the Cody Seth segment was way later in the show, and I'm just like, why does that not sound correct? Because that's what was going through my mind as I was talking. But yeah, so there was two different segments.
No, but you were right when you said it.
Yeah.
That was the first backstage segment. He did say that.
Well, I started the first backstage segment, but I ended the first backstage segment with how the second one ended.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, either way, that's both segments. It's basically Roman telling Jimmy, "Your brother is more like me than you are, and you don't understand it." Basically,
and then he told
repeating the words.
Yeah, and then he told him, he said, "Sometimes to have your brother's back, it means you have to get out of the way."
Get out of the way. Yeah. So he kind of repeated the words that Jey said to Jimmy last week when Jey told him, "You don't understand. Basically telling him I was a world heavyweight champion and you never have been, so you don't understand what it is.
Yeah.
Roman told him the same thing.
Yeah.
So we'll get into the Punk now because it goes into it. So Punk comes out and Punk starts doing his Punk stuff. He's just playing to the babyface crowd, talking about how he needs to get back to winning the World Heavyweight Championship. And how he was staying off of Raw for a couple weeks because he told Cody that he would leave Seth Rollins alone while Cody dealt with Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
But he's letting Seth know coming out of Perth this weekend that he's running for that world championship. And he feels like he should be number one contender because he was champion. He never got his championship rematch. But he got the 4 that was the championship rematch. He never got his 1-on-1 rematch, and that they won against Seth, Becky and Seth at WrestlePalooza. So he's interrupted by LA Knight. And LA Knight says, I don't have a problem with you, but I was the last one to pin Seth Rollins. And unlike you, CM Punk, who keeps getting pinned by Seth Rollins, I never got pinned by Seth Rollins. So I should be number one contender for the heavyweight championship, not you. Out comes Jey Uso. And as soon as they did this, I'm like, oh God, we're going to run back the Fatal 4-Way again? Like, what is going on? Like, that's exactly what my mind went. So out comes Jey Uso. And Jey Uso basically tells him, I never got my title rematch after I lost my championship to Gunther, which, again, your rematch was the Fatal 4-Way. So I should be number one contender for the heavyweight championship. All three baby faces argue. And then Jimmy comes out and Knight yells at Jimmy, I don't have a problem with you, but you need to get your brother in line. I don't remember how LA Knight left. But at some point, Jey Uso,
him in the face.
Jey super kicks LA Knight.
Yeah.
Jey super kicks LA Knight, right? I just remember the answer. Jey super kicks LA Knight. Yeah, and that pisses off Jimmy, and he tries to get him away. Punk tries to get to Jey. Jimmy separates the two of them. Punk pushes Jimmy out of the way because
Punk says, I'm assuming we're good. And then he walks up on Jey, and then he's like, the one thing I can agree with is I like you better as a tag team. I don't like Little Roman.
Yes, he does say that.
That sets off
Jey.
Yeah.
That sets off Jey.
Jey tries to attack him. That's when Jimmy pulls him off.
Yeah, and then Punk throws Jimmy. Punk blasts Jey, and which pisses Jimmy off. Punk turns around and Jimmy super kicks CM Punk.
Yeah,
setting up the tag match later that night.
Which also sets up the backstage segment, the second one that
the second backstage segment.
Because Jay's whole thing was, where were you? What are you doing? You protecting Punk? Who you protecting? He's like, I'm protecting you, Oos. I'm always protecting you, Oos. And that whole thing. But yes.
Yeah. But yeah, so there was a lot on Raw last night, but they did a great job telling all these stories. Again, I mean, are we going to get Punk versus LA Knight later at one point? Probably. Because during this match, it was a fine tag match. But GTS to Jey Uso, I was going to say the baby faces, but everybody in this match is a baby face. LA Knight and CM Punk couldn't get along throughout this entire match. And LA Knight does the heel thing where after the GTS to Jey, he tags himself in and gets the 3 count on Jey, pinning him. And now it's going to be another thing LA Knight just talks about, saying, I should be the number one contender for the World Heavyweight Champion because I just pinned Jey Uso, former World Heavyweight Champion. So, which is going to piss off CM Punk. And then we're going to get that match at some point on Raw. But that was a great,
So my thing, right? What the hell's going on with the Usos? They stay losing right now. They have not. They're one of the greatest tag teams of all time. They're an eight-time tag team. And they cannot catch a win right now. Now,
because of the story of
No,
their
of
discontent
course.
for each other.
of course, my point is, right? If you notice, think about who they've fought in the past, right? Before they used to fight tag teams.
Mm-hmm.
They're not fighting tag teams. They're fighting superstars, solo superstars who are working together. I'm looking at it like a 2K ranking, essentially, right? If you look up like Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston, they're all like 70s, lower 80s, whatever.
Uh,
Right now, they're fighting guys in like overall 90s. That's how I'm looking at it. I'm seeing it as they're now fighting a higher caliber of people that aren't necessarily tag teams, but they're higher overalls.
Bronson and Bronson are a tag team.
I think they're
Just saying.
I understand it, but they're also solo stars.
Yep.
If I were to pull it up right now, I'm almost positive that they both have a higher overall than Jimmy Uso.
Jimmy Uso, yeah, probably. I agree with that. I
And
think
they're
Bronson
probably
Reed
right
may be
around. Yeah, he'll
Bronson
be higher,
Reed
but
might be
like
questionable. Yeah.
I think he's higher than Jimmy, not higher than Jay.
Yeah.
But my
Which
point
is crazy because twin brothers with the same moveset.
You're not wrong. So my thing is, I feel like that's also where they're struggling is because they're fighting higher overall wrestlers.
I don't think that's it. I think it's literally the story of the two of them being on different pages, and they cannot just get on the same page because the Usos, and they talked about this during, I think it was Wade Barrett who was on the call last night, talking about they're literally twin brothers. They've been together their entire lives. They think alike. They're always on the same page. They know what each other are going to do. And for the first time in at least their professional wrestling career, they're not on the same page. They're the way they want to move is two totally different things. So they're out of sync with each other, and because they're out of sync with each other, they're losing these matches to people they shouldn't be losing matches.
Reason why they're losing the matches. I'm just saying overall, optically it also looks like they're out of their league right now.
I get it.
And we were arguing a few weeks ago that it looks like eventually they're just going to put them back together. I think their constant loss solidifies that their WWE doesn't have plans to put them together again.
No, they're not. They're not. The evolution of the Jey Uso character finally to something other than party guy who drinks Fireball is something he needed. Something that can get fans or like adult wrestling fans behind, because obviously the guy who comes out and yeets the new Jeff Hardy, the new Cody Rhodes, the new John Cena, he's going to sell merchandise to kids and he's a moneymaker, obviously. But the evolution of that character is something he actually needed if you're going to be taking that character seriously.
And that's cool and all, but my problem is that we got a Roman Reigns who is regressing as a character. Because even
I don't think he's regressing. I just think he's not
regressing.
He's not the focal point of the show anymore.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not referring to him being the main character. I'm referring to the fact that he's regressing back into that evil kind of Roman. The way he's moving and operating with Jay, he's operating like old Roman, but in a new role of he's his new wise man, technically.
So say he's the Paul Heyman, so it's
he's
Jey
the
Uso.
Paul Heyman, but he's doing it the old Roman style. That's what I mean by he's regressing.
Okay.
Then you have Jay, who now we're pushing him forward through this new way. What are we doing with Jimmy?
You're nothing. We talk about this every week.
I know that. I'm just saying it sucks that you keep on focusing on one brother.
He's Sammy Uso in this story. That's what he is. He's the guy who's trying to keep everybody together, and he's the outsider. That's his role right now.
I understand it. I'm saying long term, it sucks what we're doing to Jimmy.
Oh, I know. But yeah, but that's all. I think that's all of the segments for that.
I'm shocked that you're not more upset about that.
I am. No, I am. I've come to the realization that because I like Jimmy Uso more than Jey Uso. We know this.
We know this. This is why I'm shocked that you're not more upset.
But I've come to the realization that what am I gonna do? Like they're not gonna do anything with them. Like I'm done trying to figure out machinations to try to get Jimmy Uso to a mid card championship on SmackDown. Like that's not gonna happen. The United States champion right now on SmackDown is Sami Zayn. He's having an open challenge every week, and he's going on great matches with people. But as long as Sammy's the champion, Jimmy's not going to challenge for the United States champion. That's his boy. And then, so what do? And then you have the other two guys who's going to have a last man standing match this weekend for whoever wins this feud. It's probably going to be Cody Rhodes' next challenger after Cody's done with Seth, because that's how you raise those two guys to stock up, and it should be Aleister Black. So you're keeping Jimmy at a level. Like there's nothing for him to do other than be the support character in this story for Jay. It's that, or you keep him off of TV while Naomi's pregnant.
That's literally not his only options, and the fact that you said it like that is terrible. My Lord.
I'm just saying.
Continue to pair him up with random wrestlers.
I don't want that either. That's option number 3. That's the nuclear option. I'd rather him not be on TV than do that every week.
Jacob needs help soon.
All right. Jacob's about to feud with Drew McIntyre in what's going to be the Sheamus versus Rusev slobber knocker of SmackDown for the next 4 months, okay? But with people we actually want to see.
True.
All right, so let's get into the rest of the show now. First match of the night was Maxine Dupree versus Becky Lynch. I was thoroughly entertained
in this match. There was a moment where I gasped because that, as they called it, the announcers called it that 99.99999, where she almost won that thing. And I was in shock, bro, because I thought, are they about to do this?
Yeah. So they mentioned that they had a match at the end of August for the Intercontinental Championship, which is when we thought we were going to get Natalya versus Becky for the title, which never happened.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Well, they happened on a Raw, but it never happened like as a feud. This match was the complete opposite of their first match. So the first match, Becky beat her down and yelled at her the entire time that you're not in my league, you're not on my level, you don't deserve to be in a ring with me. I'm the greatest of all time. They gave Maxine so much offense in this match, and you can tell she's been working with Talia to get her wrestling more crisp, because she was amazing. She was pulling out Otis moves. She hit it. There was a spot where Becky went, I think she went for the leg drop, and she reversed it into the ankle lock, calling back to Chad Gable. And it wasn't as smooth as Chad would have done it, but it was smooth enough for Maxine Dupree. And I was like, what is happening? Like, we can no longer compare her to BFAB. I said this last week on SmackDown. We called BFAB and Maxine very similar characters. We cannot do it anymore. Maxine showed out last night. This was an amazing match. If I had to put it out of 5 stars, this was a 3.75 star match from a Maxine Dupree, which is like getting an 8-star Cody match. I'm just saying, this was amazing.
So the only thing I take issue is, I don't care how well she wrestled last night. They're still the same character, bro. It's the same character. Wrestling skill wise, leagues apart.
Yes.
Still the same character. I don't care. They do the same thing.
But I can overlook similar characters if somebody's going to go out here and wrestle. Because that was really good.
I agree. But I was also shocked just at the fact that they decided they gave him time.
Yeah.
They gave him time. This was not a super quick match at all.
I'll tell you exactly how much it was. Let me look up the wiki from last night. So this is definitely on Wikipedia. It had to be at least 15 minutes.
No. It wasn't 15 minutes.
Actually, I'd probably just go to a cage match. It'd probably be easier.
Cage match would be easier.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead. Keep talking while I look this up.
I thoroughly enjoyed the match. Now, the funny thing is, while I was watching the match, it occurred to me what I want to see with them, right? Because you have the Alpha Academy, but they're regulated to being in catering, being a backstage something or another, sporadically, like maybe 7 times a year. They do nothing with them.
Like that.
I would like for some character, I don't know who, to come in, say that they're going to mentor them. Even Natalya could do it. Jesus. Natalya could come in, say that she's going to train all of them, and have them put on really stellar matches and stop being this super uber comedy gimmick. And literally
only do that if you get Natty Neidhart, not Natalya.
Yes, I'll agree with that. You get Natty. She's fed up. She's tired of losing. You get Natty. She's serious. She starts training them, and then you make them a legit group.
Tozawa can go.
Which is what I was just about to say. Tozawa can wrestle.
Yep. This match was 13 minutes and 45 seconds. So I was just 15. I was just over. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But it was a really good match. But I again, that just goes to show you can do something with just about everybody on this roster. They just choose not to.
Yes.
That's the disrespect. You can push
them like this. Yeah.
And you heard the crowd. The crowd was cheering.
Was thoroughly behind her. Yeah. This was a fantastic match.
Everyone at the show, I would have loved to be there in person because the sheer shock of it all and the energy that was clearly in the room.
Yeah. So, not Natalya. Maxine gets the win because when Becky finally gets the one-up on her, she gets into the referee's face. And the referee's like, I'm not playing that, Becky. So they get to the outside, they brawl. And Becky stands up on the announce table and starts yelling at the crowd how she's the greatest women's wrestler of all time. Meanwhile, Maxine doesn't go to attack Becky. She hears the referee's count and rolls back into the ring. And the announce team points this out multiple times. Jessica Carr, WWE has a problem right now with their referees. They need to make this a story with all of their referees going into business for themselves. Because Jessica Carr, when she got to 7, sped that count up.
Yes, 100%.
She sped that count up. And Becky turns around when she hears the bell and realizes, oh, crap. I just lost to Maxine freaking Dupree. Mm-hmm. And when I said she was freaking out during the Seth Rollins segment earlier, that's why she lost to Maxine.
Now, my question to you, does that not technically make her the number 1 contender?
It should. 100%. We should get it next week. Should get this run it back. Maxine Dupree versus Becky Lynch for the Intercontinental Championship. Don't have her win it. But you have her have another really good match.
I love the fact that you can go on and on about a person and be excited about them and then just turn around and be like, don't let her win.
Because it's still Becky Lynch. Like, no, if you're going to have her lose, it's this way.
Yeah.
But here's the crazy part of what I'm going to say, because the next match of the show on the card would have been probably not even the next match. There are 3 women's matches on the show last night, and the third of the 3 should have been the best of the 3 women's matches, but it wasn't. It was Becky and Maxine Dupree. Because the next match, which could be a really good match, if given more time, because this match only got, according to Cage Match, 10 minutes and 45 seconds. I'm sorry, not even 9 minutes and 20 seconds, was Roxanne Perez and Lyra Valkyria. So we get a backstage segment where Lyra's getting ready for her match, and Bayley walks up to Lyra, and she goes, hey, we've been having this problem with Roxanne and Raquel. I want to be in your corner tonight. And Lyra looks at her and goes, I have no problem with that, Bayley. Well, which Bayley am I getting? How is your mood today? Is what she asked her. And Bayley's like, I'm fine. I'm great. I just want to make sure that you don't get teamed up on outside. So she goes, okay, I don't like it, but I need all the help I can get. So they go out to the ring. And It's a fine match. Lyra and Roxanne are really good wrestlers. So Raquel's getting involved towards the end. Bayley tries to attack Raquel. Raquel kicks Bayley in the face with a big boot. Roxanne goes for pop rocks. She misses. Valkyria tries to get a comeback, and Roxanne does. I think she goes for like a jackknife style pin where her back is like against the ropes, so she's got Lyra pinned, and Raquel holds down Roxanne for the added leverage to get the pinfall victory. They leave. The heels start to leave, and Bayley switches again. She gets into the ring.
That's not what happened at all.
That is exactly what happened.
That's not what happened at all.
Then am I confusing that with the Asuka one? Oh, God damn it, what's wrong with me today? That's what happened during the Asuka match. All right, hold on. The finishes with all these matches. Okay.
Bayley's
I need to start taking my own notes.
Bayley's on the floor. Then Lyra takes out Roxanne. And then Roxanne Raquel. Sorry. She takes out Raquel. Then Roxanne attacks her, throws her in the ring. She gets pop rocks, goes for the pinfall, and she wins. And
okay, I'm confusing. It was Asuka that held Kyrie's hands out.
Then the girls leave, and right away Bayley's like, "Let's go get them! Come on, let's go get them!" So, which leads into the backstage segment when you're getting
where they're beating them down.
They're beating the crap out of them. So yeah. I didn't like the first segment. The first segment where it was just cringe to me. When she's at the beginning of the match, when she's like, "Hey, I'll go out there for you," and blah, 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 blah. I was just like, this is so corny. I can't get over how bad this is for me. Then they had the match, which was perfectly fine. And then the biggest pop, because the way they were beating them down, I was thoroughly entertained with that. And Bayley just kept screaming. She's like, "Get him."
That was coming out of the Dominic Mysterio thing, right?
Yes. That was at that point it was Penta, AJ, and I was gonna say Lucha.
No, it wasn't Penta yet. It wasn't Penta yet. It was AJ, Dragon Lee, and the
Penta.
3 Judgment Day.
No,
that was the second segment between them.
Yeah,
because there was multiple segments with them as well.
When they walked up to Penta, and they were, "What is wrong with you today?"
I was playing a game watching Raw.
See, that's the point. So
my ADHD kicks in.
Here's my point. How you quote me a few minutes ago talking about, "You told me I gotta pay attention to the match," and then you didn't pay attention to the match.
But it was fine. So yeah, but it was funny. But my whole thing with the Bayley Lyra stuff is we've panned this and talked about how bad it is. Is Lyra, because of the beatdown last night on Roxanne and Raquel, that Lyra went along with it.
Yeah, which is another point.
Is the evil version of Bayley going to start to corrupt Lyra? Because that's what I took. I was like, Lyra shouldn't be beating people down. She's the super baby face in this. But she went along with the role model version of Bayley in a way where, because she was originally hesitant to have Bayley in her corner if that version was going to be out there, but then she's there beating them down with that version of Bayley. So is Bayley going to be able to corrupt Lyra? And then when Bayley flips back to babyface, she's going to be like, "Lyra, I don't know what you're talking about. I beat nobody down last week." And then Lyra look at her and be like, "What is wrong with you?" That's what we're going to get next week.
I don't know, but I liked it. I like Bayley corrupting Lyra.
Okay. Oh, let's talk about this. The first of the AJ Styles, Dominic Mysterio stuff. So, AJ and Dragon Lee again are talking in the back, and they get walked up on by Judgment Day. And I popped because Dominic Mysterio is wearing a T-shirt that has 10-year-old Dominic Mysterio on it, playing this PSP Vita. I saw that and I laughed. It's just like, what is wrong with this guy?
I didn't notice the shirt.
So, yeah, he was wearing his own face as a 10-year-old. That meme of him playing the Vita. So they're all just talking, and AJ says, well, I have a match against John Cena this weekend. And Dom laughs. He goes, how can you imagine to beat John Cena? You didn't even beat me. And AJ gets pissed off, and AJ goes, well, and then Finn also says, yeah, AJ, you can't beat anybody right now. And they talk about their history for a split second. They mention it, and then AJ goes, yeah, well, guess what, guys? And his southern accent, I'm gonna go down and piss, and I'm gonna find us a third. It's gonna be me, Dragon Lee, and another guy if we can find a partner, and we're gonna face you guys in a 6-man tag match tonight. And they walk away, and then Finn just looks at Dom and goes, who do you think he's gonna get to be a partner? And I'm just like, what? So Finn just immediately went to that. So yeah, that happened, and then later we got the segment where he walks up to Penta, and of course it's going to be Penta because you got nothing else to do. Let's dust off a Mexican wrestler.
I can't.
Like, I'm just saying, this is WWE. You got nothing else going on. Let's dust off one of our many Mexican wrestlers we have to face off against the Judgment Day, because at least that makes sense, because Dominic Mysterio is still walking around with the AAA Mega Championship. Right? So we have that 6-man tag match later, and it's a fine match. It's perfectly fine.
At least they let Penta shine for a little bit, because he needed it.
They got nothing going on. Like, he's got nothing. Rusev comes out. Oh, we didn't talk about this. So before the Punk segment, well, he's walking out in the back, and Rusev, you could see in the background yelling at Adam Pearce because he thought that Dom cheated to retain the Intercontinental Championship last week. So during the match, Rusev comes up. Dominic Mysterio runs away because he's scared of Rusev, leaving Finn and JD to themselves. The baby faces eventually get the win, because that's going to lead to AJ and Dragon Lee getting a tag team title match against the Judgment Day, because apparently Finn said, I heard y'all want a tag team title match now. Again, you have nothing to do with AJ. There's no more LWO, so there's nothing to do with Dragon Lee. So we're just going to team you two up right now and have you go against the Judgment Day for the tag team titles. And this John Cena thing is just a side quest for AJ Styles.
You're also forgetting the part where during the match, when Mysterio was running away, Rusev was giving chase, and then Penta ended up kicking him in the face.
Kicking Rusev in the face, because I remember somebody came in. I think my daughter came in, looks at it, goes, "Are we gonna get Penta versus Rusev?" Oh no, it was Darwin. It was Darwin Spider-Pig. He goes, "Are we actually gonna get Penta versus Rusev?" I'm like, "Well, I've been saying that for weeks. That's what they should have done, but they didn't. They totally left that." Yeah. So maybe we're gonna get that picked up, Penta and Rusev. But Styles, Penta, and AJ. It says Lee, Dragon Lee. It says Styles. I was like AJ Lee. Styles, Penta, and because I'm going. Yes, it's a pro.
Here we go.
Styles, Penta, and Dragon Lee get the win. And the never-ending saga of Io Sky, Kairi Sane, and Asuka. We got Asuka having a backstage segment with Adam Pearce, and that was after we got a vignette from Io Sky that was part in English and part in Japanese, telling the story of why Asuka is so important to them, how Asuka coming to America and coming to WWE and winning the championships here was inspirational for her and Kairi to come here, and they wouldn't be in WWE if it's not for Asuka. And she loves her; they were family, and she's her mentor. But unfortunately, because of everything Asuka's done, she didn't want to believe Rhea Ripley, but because of everything Asuka's done, she saw that Rhea was telling the truth. And Asuka is jealous of Io's success, and she can't, and because of what Asuka's done, they're no longer family. So we had that, and then we immediately got Asuka talking to Adam Pearce.
I thought that was a very good video package.
It was a good video, very good video package. And it forced me to pay attention because it was half in Japanese. So I couldn't not read the subtitles. So Asuka is back there looking like a crazy person, talking to Adam Pearce. Fair. It's like, make the match. And Adam Pearce is like, what are you talking about? We already made the match for Saturday between you and Kairi versus Io and Rhea. He goes, and I said, like, that's not what I'm talking about. Tonight, Io Sky versus Kairi Sane. And Adam Pearce looks at Kairi, and Kairi, I know you were loving the character work she's doing. She's doing great character work, but I think she's doing a little too over the top. So Kairi's face is just blank, and Adam Pearce is like, no, if that's what you guys want, if that's what Kairi wants, I'll make it. And Asuka's like, Kairi, and she's like, yeah, I'll do it. So we get that.
That's not at all
later.
how that went down.
That is literally how that went down.
No, it isn't. She was talking to Adam Pearce by herself, and after she got him and then after she got him to agree to making the match, Kairi comes up, and then she tells her that this is what's going to happen. You're going to have a match tonight, and then Kairi was like in shock.
I could have sworn she was in that room for the entire time. Not. Okay. Well, you can correct all that other stuff. All right. So then we get that match. And again, I said this before. Listen, if it's not Bloodline, Jey Uso, Seth Rollins related, I'm not paying much attention to it. Because I gave you a 15-minute soliloquy about the history of the Bloodline and Seth Rollins before, and I couldn't remember 30 seconds of this. All right, so then we get that match, and again, this if you gave me the matches on the show on a rundown, this would be the match I would tell you.
You would before seeing it, you would guess that this is going to be the top match. I 100% agree. 100%. That's what I expected. Wasn't that great? It was a good match.
No.
It was a good match.
Yes.
But it wasn't the caliber of match I thought they would have put on.
This match was 10 minutes and 30 seconds. Because again, the match of this wasn't to be a great match.
Yeah.
This was to continue the story moving forward.
Yes.
And the story moving forward for this is, well, we know Io and Rhea are going to win at Perth and, have the Romeo and Juliet moment in the ring, hugging while the heels hate on them. But this was because Rhea was in Australia. I think Cody was also in Australia. That's why he was in the show. Rhea was in Australia doing media for Saturday's show, and leaving Io by herself. And Kairi reluctantly took advantage of that fact. So you had the heels beating on Io. They had some really good moments. Io has some really good spots. She's again one of the best wrestlers in the world, male or female. Kairi is a very good wrestler, but this is the one where the heels cheated to hold on and get the extra leverage. Bro. But towards the end, after she hits her with the jackknife and Asuka gets the extra leverage, getting Kairi Sane to beat Io, which surprised me. Shouldn't have surprised me because, again, maybe this is a little win on Saturday. Asuka holds Io up while reluctantly Kairi hits the insane elbow on Io to end the segment. So it's fine. Again, we just need to get through this. For me, we need to get through this to get to what I really want to see, and that's Rhea Ripley and Io Sky needs a feud.
That's not going to happen.
I know it's not. It's just, I've been doing this for months. It's just, it is what it is. We're going to get, the fact that we're not getting Io Asuka 1-on-1 this weekend is going to annoy me because that means we're going to get Io Asuka 1-on-1 at another pay-per-view. It's probably going to be Survivor Series. And we're going to extend this feud out at least another month.
Yes.
That's it. Go ahead. Tell me your love of everything this segment.
No, everything was good. There was nothing great. It was all good. It was all good.
Fine.
The match was good. I didn't think that the match, again, I would have expected more, but to your point, it wasn't the point of the match. The point was to get to the end spot of them beating down Io Sky, setting up for the pay-per-view. So you're completely right. I have no complaints other than, you know, at some point I would like to see Kyrie and Io put on a banger.
Yes. It'll happen before the feud, before the singles feud with Asuka. We'll get that match again. Maybe it would be like Kyrie versus Io, Rhea and Asuka are dead.
What I would like to see is at
like
some
that.
point, so you have her fight Asuka, right? You have them put on their banger matches, right? Eventually, they get into one of the matches where Io actually hurts Asuka.
Yeah, accidentally hits her with like a back fist or a drop kick or something
crazy that takes her out. And then that ignites Kyrie. And then now Kyrie is less of that reluctant and more of the I'm going to get my lick back for Asuka, for what you did to Asuka, and have her be more, you know, within her resolve to get this done.
See that, but as you're saying that, I could think we'll get more. It's more likely that we'll get Asuka trying to miss Io. Io moves, and then Kyrie takes it in the face.
No, 100%.
And
I can see that easily happening. I'm just saying mine is a way better story.
Oh, I agree.
Because you get the banger with Asuka, which we know we're getting, but then for all we know, we never get that match between Io and Kyrie.
Yeah. Again, yeah.
My way gets you both.
Yeah. I understand. And to have both of them be heels would be, I don't know if it's more intriguing. I think they're doing a decent enough job with the story and getting people intrigued now. But my purist wrestling heart always thinks you need a true heel tag team for baby faces to come over. And they don't have one. You have the Judgment Day on the men's division, who never defends that title, but they're not really heels. And then you have the women's tag team championships, which are held up by two baby faces, and only half of this team of Io and Kyrie and Asuka are heel.
Yeah,
Kyrie's a baby face. She's just mentored by Asuka. She's attached to Asuka. So to have her switch, and now you have both of them be heels, and you know, going after those women's tag team championships, or you know, beating down Io every week, and then you have somebody on Raw. It could be Rhea Ripley, it could be somebody else, could be another babyface that you call up, could be AJ Lee if when she comes back. Somebody who's a babyface enough to take on that team who's both heel now, that could be an intriguing story. But you have to switch Kyrie in order to do it. So that was Monday Night Raw. Again, the storytelling on Raw, superb last night. The in-ring work, solid. We'll say solid. The main event, not so much. We talked about the main event already. LA Knight got the tag in. He pinned it. He pinned Jey Uso. We talked about that during the opening monologue. But solid night. It's been a while since I could say that about Raw or SmackDown, that it's been solid.
True. And at least it was more story driven. That's what I appreciate.
Yeah.
It was way more story driven, and it was captivating storytelling.
I'm okay with it being story driven or wrestling driven, but the wrestling, if you're
Has to
going to
be
do
good.
it that aspect, has to be good and has to do something to push forward your stories.
Yeah.
Last night it was story driven based upon backstage segments and vignettes. But if you're doing mostly wrestling, that pushes the story forward. I'm okay with that too. All right, so that's what we got from Monday Night Raw. What's your biggest takeaway?
I'm probably gonna go with the Seth Rollins Heyman conversation.
That's it. That's the biggest takeaway. Like the Roman Jay stuff is very intriguing to see where they're gonna go with Jay after. But it's Seth and Heyman, and they better not be pulling this trigger of Seth is already losing the Heyman because it's too soon for that.
Yeah, he has to win.
He has to win Smack on Saturday against Cody. If Cody wins again and he's back-to-back crown jewel champion, it's Cena 2011.
Yeah,
Like that, like where he can't lose because he's a back-to-back Royal Rumble winner already. He's held that title for 16, 18 months, however long it's been, and then you give him this made-up championship back-to-back just to pad his stats. I'm sorry, Cody is. I want to talk about mid WWE champions. We could put Cody Rhodes up there right next to, Bret Hart or Diesel or whoever else you want to call mid. I disagree with Bret Hart, but some people do. Like Cody's just, ugh.
Tell us how you really feel.
Where did I put him? Cody Rhodes.
Yeah,
He's mid.
How you? I didn't realize how you got a Funko Pop.
It's my son's. I stole it. It's Matthews. I took it from him.
Why?
I needed more stuff behind me.
Your logic is
he doesn't
crazy.
watch wrestling.
That's also valid. Why does he have a Cody Funko Pop?
No idea. Don't know why he bought this.
So many questions surrounding this Funko Pop.
Yeah, maybe we'll come to the bottom of it next time on. I was gonna say Dragon Ball Z, but this is the Squashfest podcast.
That was terrible. How do you forget the name you're wearing the shirt?
Squashfest podcast. Yeah. So that's it. It's got to be Seth. He's got to win. That's the biggest takeaway. I think that's when we do it. I haven't created my TikTok yet. I need to do that right now. Because I need to watch this NXT show right now.
Here we go.
It's NXT versus TNA, 2 Survivor Series style matches tonight.
I was going to ask, did they take away, because I was reading an article, because originally it was called Invasion. Did they take away that moniker?
No, they never announced it called Invasion. They just said they were going to have the matches. People were thinking it was going to be an Invasion.
Oh, okay. I thought it was officially called, Invasion.
There might be an issue with Disney because of Secret Invasion, but I would think that's just a phone call since you have a working relationship with ESPN now. So you could just be like, hey, we want to do a show called Invasion, and I know you are stepping on your intellectual property, maybe. Can we do it? They'd be like, yeah. Throw us some extra PLE next year. I'm just saying, this is how business works.
That's exactly what I envisioned. They would say something like that. WWE would be like, sure.
We'll create another one and charge $11,000 for front row seats.
Sounds about right.
That's what they're doing for the John Cena final match. $11,000.
Did you hear the fact that you can't use a VPN with your ESPN Plus, whatever the hell, to watch WWE?
Yes, but why would you need a VPN to watch it on ESPN?
I'm saying, so you that new app, the $30 one?
Yeah.
Like, people were trying to get it to be able to watch it using a VPN.
That doesn't make sense. Because it's ESPN in America, You wouldn't need a VPN to watch it if you subscribe to ESPN. You would use a VPN if you're trying to watch it on Netflix, which is internationally.
I don't know. The guy on TikTok was like that. He was trying to watch it through. Maybe that's why it didn't work.
Why would you do that? You just subscribe to ESPN and you watch it. It's a standalone thing. You watch it internationally on Netflix with a VPN because you're trying to avoid the $30 ESPN charge.
I don't know. Then he's an idiot. And I'm stupid for listening. He was going on a whole rant about it.
All right. Well, this is why everybody needs a tech guy in their life. And I have a tech guy in my life, even though I am the tech guy in other people's lives. All right. I think that's what we're going to call it. Enjoy SmackDown this weekend, or this week. And we have 8 a.m. We have 8 a.m. on the East Coast, 5 a.m. on the Pacific Coast. We have Crown Jewel. I am definitely not going to wake up in time to watch that live. So
we're going to have to record both on Sunday. So
yes, we will.
Well, I can record on Saturday for SmackDown, but you'll be watching. Oh no, you won't, because it would have already have happened. No.
Yeah, so I'm off Saturday. I will wake up whenever I wake up and watch Crown Jewel, because I'm not forcing myself to wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning to watch this.
No, I got that part. I'm just saying we could still record Saturday. SmackDown, like normal. Sunday, we can still record
both. No, do you work Saturday?
Yes.
Okay. What time do you work Saturday? Because theoretically, you can get up and watch Crown Jewel, and then we can record later in the day.
Work at 6 a.m.
Theoretically, because it's like a 6 to 4 shift. You come home, you watch Crown Jewel, and then we record both at 8 o'clock.
I would still have to watch SmackDown.
You can't watch SmackDown Friday?
No, because I have to wake up early.
Jeez. Okay, so two podcasts on Sunday. Got it. Or a double like the one. We'll figure it out.
One on Saturday for SmackDown, and then Crown Jewel we'll do on Sunday.
Okay, that's fine.
I feel like that was that's really confusing for no reason.
I know, Dutch. I was trying to figure out if it made more sense to do a double episode on Sunday.
That's just evil.
I mean, this one's an hour long, an hour and a change. We bang out both in an hour and 45 minutes, and that's it.
I mean, you're not wrong. That's also a possibility.
Yeah,
that's true. I don't know, but yeah, as he said, that was Raw. Thank you for watching. We appreciate you as always. Thank you, and follow us on Spotify, TikTok, iHeartRadio, and YouTube. And we'll catch you on the next one.
Hey, so look out for the Boy Harp TikTok going live in about 5 minutes.
Allegedly, because you said this the last podcast.
I said I'm going to do it Monday or Tuesday. Today is still technically Tuesday.
I gotta go. Laters.
Space.